You are watching CNN and this is Connect the World with me, Lynda Kinkade. Welcome back. Well, in the fight against the terror group Boko Haram, the front line is in the Sambisa forest. It's where the Nigerian army hopes to find the Chibok girls who were kidnapped from their school 2 years ago. CNN's Nima Elbagir was given unprecedented access to the effort that is going on and went on patrol with Nigerian troops. Here's her exclusive report.
Monday market in Maiduguri.
Two men sowing absolute panic, both suspected terrorists, quickly, they say, subdued. Normality returned, but it gives you a sense of the tension here. As Boko Haram have lost their territorial footprint, or much of it, they're growing increasingly reliant on unleashing waves of suicide bombers into the heart of Maiduguri and beyond.
In a city on edge, no one is above suspicion. Maiduguri is at the heart of the Nigerian army's campaign to retake Boko Haram territory. Under Operation Lafiadola, peace by any means, spread out across the country's vast northeast. The road to the Sambisa forest, or what's been cleared so far. Relentless heat bears down on our heavily armored convoy.
Delta Foxtrot Alpha for Golf 3 check. Inform all the boys to be very vigilant, over.
Soft sand, ideal hiding holes for IEDs. The scout in the lead car directing our convoy on and off the track.
2 years ago, when we visited Chibok after the mass abduction of the Chibok schoolgirls, parents described to us how they followed the trail of their daughters to the front gate, to the entry point of the Sambisa forest, and were unable to move any further. This is the Sambisa. The Nigerian government has been able to start clawing back territory here from Boko Haram, but the Sambisa fortress, the territory right in the center, that is still where they're moving towards.
And this is where some of the Chibok girls are believed to still be held.
Let's say you're out on a patrol like this. What are your scouts looking for? Are they looking for tracks? Are they looking for do they specifically know that this area will have had heat signals? Are you using thermal imaging? What techniques are you using to get you closer?
Yeah, I would say we have a paucity of the necessary multipliers, like the thermal imaging you're talking about, but we rely a lot on the Americans that have provided the ISR planes, give some form of information as to cluster of groups of persons. We try to search out for footprints, and sometimes we see children, their footprints on the ground.
As if on cue, a surveillance plane flies overhead, one of the eyes in the sky.
Here, and then...
Back in Maiduguri, the operations theatre commander, Major General Nima Elbagir, tells us he's proud of his men, but they are in need of more international support.
Why do you think it's taking so long to find the girls?
Well, the question of Chibok girls remains a sore point in our history. We think that from the intelligence available to us, that the remaining areas that we're working to move into, we want to see if we're able to rescue the Chibok girls.
Elbagir is tasked with both following the girls' 2-year-old trail and waging war against Boko Haram's brutal insurgency in the face of heightening frustration.
It's a huge challenge, and the mandate is enormous. But currently, we've gone very far in achieving that mandate.
But the threat remains.
The threat remains, of course, just like in our other areas.
The commander allowed us to join his men moving east towards the Boko Haram front lines to see for ourselves. Boko Haram do indeed appear to have been pushed back, but their presence lingers. Everywhere you look, scenes of devastation.
All the way through our journey cross-country, we've seen village after abandoned village, devastated, destroyed. What Boko Haram couldn't loot, they attempted to burn to the ground, and people are still too afraid to come back to their homes.
And now Nima Elbagir joins us now live from CNN London. Some really compelling reporting there, Nima. Thank you so much for joining us. Just give us some perspective on how big is this Sambisa forest? How much territory do they have to comb through? And why has it taken so long for them to even get there?
Well, it is essentially an entire green belt south of Maiduguri, and it is parts of it are very dense. And you also saw there with our convoy having to drive on and off the track. This really has been the result of that relationship between ISIS and Boko Haram. What has happened is a lot of that know-how. 2 years ago, we weren't seeing this from Boko Haram, this use of IEDs, sowing them across the territory they control. This is now the ramifications of Boko Haram pledging allegiance to ISIS. That technological transfer is what we're seeing unfold, and it's having a real impact for troops that are already working in very difficult, very hot environments. Now their painstaking search on foot, as you saw, is being carried out through heavily mined, heavily IED'd territory. And they're also having to pick up a very disjointed trail because initially there was a real lag in terms of deploying by the former administration of President Goodluck Jonathan. They didn't move fast enough. So whatever evidence they're coming through now is evidence that's essentially 2 years old. And they also don't have that much to work with. They're tracking. This is the most basic of human endeavors, to be looking for footprints and being so reliant on American technology. And given how much attention this abduction has garnered from around the world, it was really extraordinary for us to see that on the ground, this is how little these forces are working with, Lynda.
Yeah, I mean, tough conditions, but a very slow process. Nima Elbagir, thank you so much. We appreciate your reporting.